All right, so class number 7. We are going to be talking about child themes. All right, because the best theme is the theme that is a child, a portly child. Okay, so one of the things that you can do, you may or may not have done this already, is that you can actually directly change the look of your site through the CSS in WordPress. It's actually not too awful difficult to do. All you do is you go to Appearance, Theme Editor. Alright, so it actually gave me a little bit of a warning here. But anyhow, you can see right here, you have to make sure you have your current theme, so it'd be Divi. And then I would want the styles.css because that's actually what it's... And you can see it has other ones in here as well that you can also play around with. But if you scroll down, you can see here it is. Now, this obviously has been what we call minified. And it just means that instead of having it in a way that kind of you can read, it doesn't. But I could add more rules after this. Hit enter and then just add CSS rules like we would anything else. You know, do like UL, brackets, wait for a really long time for the thing to come on. See, it says it's slow. I think because this thing is so heavy. This Divi theme. Oh man. Okay, well, pretend like that worked. But I can actually type out what I want right in here, because the style sheet, this is where everything's being referenced from as far as the actual style. Let's just stop it. Yeah, so you do UL, blah, blah, blah. Then I'd write, color, blue, and then you would close it. So you'd write your CSS just like you would on, a static site, right? And then you hit update file and so on and so forth. But you don't want to do that. And I'm going to click back on appearance here, and I'll explain why. So hopefully this... Okay, good. So we still have this on. This is why you don't want to do it. Because what ends up happening... There we go. Is this. You can edit that. But depending on the theme that you have, they often get updated constantly. And what will end up happening is that when you go to update your theme, that style sheet is also going to be updated, which means anything you put in there, it's going to get overwritten. So basically, as soon as you change anything in there and you update, you're going to lose all of your stuff, which kind of stinks. So the way around this is to actually piggyback a theme. And the idea is that you make a theme that runs after the main theme, a child theme. So what will happen is it will play the Divi theme. It'll run through that theme. And then when it's done with that theme, it will then run a second theme, the child theme that you will make. And in the child theme, you can put whatever CSS you want in there, and it will just ride after the other thing. So even if the theme gets updated, it won't affect yours because yours happens afterwards anyhow. It's not directly related to it. It's not the same file. It's a separate file. So that's really the best way to go about doing it, especially if you want to make something like super custom. Obviously, Divi's pretty flexible, and there's a lot of other themes that are as well. But if you wanted to make, something very specific that you want for yourself, you'd have to create a child theme. Okay, so to create a child theme, this is what you need to do, are the steps here on the right. And I'm just going to follow right down along with it. So we need to create a folder named whatever my theme name is. In this case, it would be Divi. Dash child in the WordPress folders app WP content themes. Okay, so the best way to go about doing that is this. I need to get to this folder that has that theme in it. So if you right click over top of it, you can go down and you'll see where it says show folder. Then that'll pop open the folder, right? So I'm going to go right, I just double click on that, whatever the name of your site is. Mine was called Cohn's Business. Double click on app. In this case, I have to double click on public. If you're on a Mac, I don't know if this step will be there or not, but public. Then it's going to be WP content, WordPress content, then themes, and then here you can see the themes that we currently have installed. So what I need to do is, I can minimize this now. I need to basically make a folder called Divi Child. So I'm just right click, new folder, and I'm just going to call it Divi -child. That's going to be my child theme. Now inside of this file, that basically is right, or this folder that's right next to the other one. I need to make two files, a functions.php and a style.php. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to go ahead and use, what's it called? Microsoft. It's not giving me what I want. Studio. There we go. Visual Studio Code. Badunk. Same program I've been using for everything. Okay, and then that, for whatever reason, plopped over here. Okay. All right. And I'm just going to exit out of that because we don't need that anymore. So I'm just going to do File, New File. All right. And we need to basically write this code. So the code we're going to write is what's right here. Okay, so generically, this is what it looks like. So you would have to replace what is in orange with your information. Okay, this is kind of what it looks like if it was actually. This is like, so this is what it is generically. This is what I'm actually going to write is this, because this is Divi specific. But if you were using a different theme and want to do a child theme, this is how you would write it. Okay, so I'm basically going to write that out there. Okay. Okay, so, alright. So, yeah. And let me control plus, and let's get rid of this. Okay. So I need to start off, because this is actually going to be just one big comment. Okay, this is going to be a CSS file. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do this. Okay, oops, not that part. Get out of there, like that, okay? Because remember, if you want to do a block of comment, that's how you do it. So first thing you do is do theme, name, and then this is important. You're going to write this exact thing so far. So Divi child is what we're going to name it. Theme URI. Okay, so oops. In this case, it's elegant. I think I spelled that wrong. Elegantthemes.com, because that's the Divi theme. Description and description. Did I spell that right? Okay, and that's going to be Divi child theme. And then the author is going to be me, because I'm the author. John Cohn. Yours will be your name. Okay? Because we're basically creating another theme, but it's going to be a piggyback one. So you would do this, eventually we're going to make our own theme. You would do this kind of similar, but in this case it's not exactly. So now we're going to do author URI. And that's going to be HTTP. And then you can just put in whatever your website name is, but I'm just going to do teachmecone.com. And then the template, template is going to be Divi. And then the Divi. And then the version is going to be 1.0.0. Okay, so this is just generically what starts at the top of a theme CSS file. But obviously, depending on what you're doing, this would be different. So I'm making a child theme, so that's why this one is called Divi Child. And that's why the description of it is that it's just a child theme. But this might be a little bit different depending on what you're creating. Okay. So that looks good. So I need to save this. I'm Control-Shift-S or Command-Shift-S. And I need to save this into that same folder. So let's see, this PC, and then desktop, and let's see, users, I think, local sites, Cone's business. If worse comes to worse, what you can do is just save it to the desktop and then just drop and drag it. Once you can do that whole thing where you right click and open the folder and then drop and drag it onto it. I'm just trying to navigate directly to it, but it is a little bit annoying. So theme, Divi child, okay. And then this is just going to be called style.css, okay? Boom. All right. Yay. So that one's done. The other thing we need to do is make that PHP. So same thing as before. If you look at here, this is the generic PHP code. And actually the final thing is actually the same. Yeah. Basically that's what you're going to do. All right. you know what we're going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm just going to copy it. So I'm going to go like this, click and drag across it, Control C or Command C. We're going to go in here, we're going to do File, New, File, Control V, and then we're going to save this, Control Shift S or Command Shift S. And this one is going to be called functions.php. And save. Alright. Cannot validate since so much PSQ is used. I don't know what they're talking about. Alright. It didn't highlight it. Let's hope that works anyway. It does show PHP as the little thing up here, so that's good. But, oh well. So we'll see how well this works. Good. Alright, so basically what this is going to do, it says add an action, and it basically W and Q scripts. This just means when the WordPress scripts, when they're all been loaded in, it's going to load this theme style, which is this thing right here. This is the function. And then it's going to load this style after the parent style. Okay. So we already saved that. So now I need to go back to WordPress here. And let's see if we can refresh this. And hopefully it pops up. There it goes. So now if you look, you'll see Divi child. Okay. And if you hit activate, it's going to activate this. And then the other one's going to appear to not be activated anymore. But what you will notice is it's still there, right? I still have all the things that I had before. But now what you can do is either in the theme editor, I'm not going to click on it because it takes forever. Or you can just, since you have direct access to the file, I can go in here and then you would just add, you would add your own custom CSS right in here. So we'll say background -color, and I'll just say blue, just so you can kind of see what I'm saying. Okay. So now this style, any style I put in here, that's going to be a style on my actual website. So let's go back here. So just so you get an idea, so I'm going to go to Pages, and let's just do About. And, okay, a little bit. Edit with Divi Builder. So you can see it still has the Divi because Divi runs first, and then it runs my next thing. It's going to take a little bit of a second. And you already saw the blue, right? So, all right, so that seems to be upset. Okay. Let's see. .php. Let me look at my file here. Functions.php, PHP file. Alright, let's try this. I'm going to try copy and pasting. C, Control A, Control V. Okay. Do this for me instead. For whatever reason, that one, I think there might be getting some extra information here that I don't like. Copy and paste from this guy instead. I'm going to grab this one. Control C, Control A, Control V. And you can see that seems to be working better for whatever reason. So, and I'm just going to tab this in, and then we'll tab that in, and I'm going to delete, and then tab, and then I'll just save that. Alright, and let's go here, and let's try refreshing. Let's see, there it goes, I think. Let's hope. Awesome. Okay, so now it's working more correctly. Can't really see my blue behind it because it's getting controlled by the Divi. So it had to, because Divi has themes for like the sections and all that other stuff, that it's going to probably overwrite it because I specifically told them to be certain colors. So let's try something else in here for the style. So let's do color, we'll say blue as well. Doesn't really make any sense, but we'll save it. Go over here and let's refresh. Hopefully it pops up. There you go. So now you can see the default for all the body text is going to be blue. Okay. So you're going to have to find a way to specifically find these specific elements to make sure that you override what Divi's making. So I don't know what the classes are these are specifically, But yeah, so that's basically what we want to do. But now I can write my own custom CSS right here. And if I want to make something special, I can put it right in here, and then that way I have access to it in my site as well. Okay, so without disturbing Divi. So I can update Divi. I mean, you probably already saw that before. I already had things to upgrade. I can work with those outside of it. So what I want you to do is basically that. Now, I'll minimize that. Let's go open up this guy. Not this guy. This guy. Okay. Yeah, and then we activate it. We already did that. Okay, good. So basically, your next assignment, what I want you to do is just to make a child theme and to make some custom CSS. Okay. It doesn't have to be anything like crazy, just something that's going to make it somewhat unique. They can find some sort of way of making some sort of adjustment or something interesting. All right. But basically, all you really got to do is just write down this line, follow these steps, and then you will have a child theme.